What's going on, y'all? It is Cop Pizzle. Hope everybody's staying safe. Hope everybody's staying healthy. Hope your loved ones are all good. I'm sure Mark Holmes has went 3 days without taking a shower now because he's got to make 15 fucking videos a day about the Dallas Cowboys. But nevertheless, I hope each and every one of you are doing well. I had to make a video because I see a narrative starting to take place. And I don't know if we're going to get to play any football in 2020, but if we do, I already see a narrative starting to take place that I don't like. And I don't tell anybody how they should do their Giants football, but there is a wrong way and a right way, believe it or not, on most cases. You know, for years, I never turned my back on Eli Manning. In fact, one of the reasons why I joined YouTube was to be a supportive fan for the Giants and to support Eli Manning because I didn't feel like he was getting the support that he deserved. Granted, when I joined the Giants, he had not won a Super Bowl yet, but I was right about Eli. I knew that he could get the job done, and there were naysayers throughout his whole career. And of course, he even had naysayers after he won multiple Super Bowls, which I still can't get over that. How does the man win 2 Super Bowls for you, and you all of a sudden, you're talking shit in your Lakers streams? Like, I don't fucking get that. That makes no fucking sense to me. But nevertheless, I supported Eli and never jumped off the train, even when most people did. And here we have people now starting to take a side of where they stand with Dave Gettleman. You're either on I'm done with this dude, or you're still in the boat with Dave Gettleman. And I'm going to tell you why I'm not only in the boat with Dave Gettleman, but why Dave Gettleman is basically my new Eli Manning, the guy who I will never turn my back on. Dave Gettleman did something that a lot of you didn't have the balls to even consider. Dave Gettleman went out and drafted Daniel Jones. And a lot of you, some of you here on YouTube, some of you went on Twitter, some of you went on Facebook, but you made videos, you made comments, you made posts about how this was the dumbest move that the general manager Dave Gettleman could have ever made. It was the dumbest move. You made fucking fools of yourselves. Right? And then Daniel Jones, who, don't get me wrong, still needs to prove that he can stay healthy for a full 16-game season. Still needs to prove that he can protect the ball, not being able to fumble. You know, I don't think interceptions is a big problem, but fumbling more than likely is something that he needs to clean up, and I think he's probably worked on that. He still needs to prove those 2 things. However, Daniel Jones, for the short time that we got to see him in 2019, looked like a potential franchise quarterback, a guy who could be the next big thing. Yet the majority of you said that he wasn't a good pick. Some of you went nuts all over Josh Allen's nuts and I'm not talking about Josh Allen the quarterback, I'm talking about Josh Allen the defender. Dave Gettleman had the balls to make that move. And if it pays off, that pick that most of you criticized may end up being the reason why we get back to the promised land. It may be the reason why the Giants are even relevant the next 10 to 15 fucking years. Because Dave Gettleman had the balls to make that work. Now, this doesn't mean that Davey is out of the woods in terms of you can't go out and just have a shit draft here, Dave. However, I'm not going to go and say, oh, he didn't draft Isaiah Simmons. Here we go again. Dave sucks. Blah, blah, blah. We need to get him out of here. No. The man had the balls to reach and grab a player that a lot of you didn't have the nuts to even consider. As far as I'm concerned, Dave can do whatever the fuck he wants to do in the 2020 draft. Pick whoever he feels like we needs to pick. If it's Isaiah Simmons, if it's a tackle, hell, if it's a your damn mama, he can do whatever he needs to do without being criticized by people who don't have a fucking clue. You don't have a clue. He can make these moves. And guys like Pizzle, and hopefully there are some that are like-minded like me, will give his players who he drafts the opportunity to prove it on the field rather than be thrown out like Daniel Jones was thrown out the weekend he was drafted. This upcoming draft season, assuming we even get one, give the player the opportunity to prove Dave right before you say he's not worthy to be a New York fucking football giant. If it's not Isaiah Simmons, if it is Isaiah Simmons, celebrate it. Tell everybody that, oh, I predicted this. Do whatever egomaniac thing you need to do. But if it's not, give the player a chance to prove to you that he belongs wearing big blue. Daniel Jones certainly did. Daniel Jones, I have confidence in number 8 going into the 2020 season. I have confidence. I don't look at 2019 and look at Dave Gettleman and say, Dave, that's all your fucking fault. I understand that Jonathan Stewart's wasn't a great move. The Alec Ogletree, I get all that. But a lot of you don't. A lot of you act like every time you perform sex, it's the best. No, half the time it's awful for you. Give Dave Gettleman and his picks an opportunity to prove himself right. Stop acting like you know more than you actually do. Because the likelihood is, if everything else was going on like it's supposed to be, you wouldn't even be watching any of the draft content right now. You'd be streaming some bullshit. I have faith in Dave Gettleman. I have faith in the New York Giants young players. And I know that on draft night, Dave Gettleman is going to make the right selections for the New York Football Giants. I put what happened last year on Pat Shurmur. And with a new canvas with Joe Judge's name on it, I believe in what the Giants are capable of doing.